We have a short statement dun sa suspension ng IACAT ng revised travel guidelines. Una sa lahat, nagpapasalamat po ako kay Secretary Crispin Remulla for heeding the public's clamor for suspending the Interagency Council Against Trafficking's revised guidelines on departure formalities, as this is a welcome development. Ito po ay nagpapatunay na nakikinig at sensitive ang mga agencies ng gobyerno at ang DOJ Secretary sa pulso ng sambayanan. Kakapasa lang namin po kagabi na isang unnumbered Senate resolution na naghihiling sa DOJ at sa IACAT na suspendihin muna ang implementation ng draft revised guidelines para mapag-aralan na mabuti ang bagong patakaran ng mga requirements na ito. As I mentioned in my speech yesterday, nasa loob po ng ating konstitusyon. Nakalagay po sa Article 3, Section 6 ng ating konstitusyon ang right to travel by every Filipino. Karapatan po natin yan. At ang konstitusyon, hindi po yan recommendatory, yan po ay mandatory. Kaya nung inilabas po ng IACAT itong mga guidelines na ito, una po ang Senado na umalma at nagalit na bakit naman pong gagawin ito na ayon sa ating konstitusyon, which is the main law of the land, na pwede naman po magbiyahe unimpeded ang ating mga kababayan. Kaya natutuwa rin po ako sa bilis na naging action ni Secretary Remulla sa hiling po ng ating mga senador. Hindi lamang ako yan at we were seconded, and of course there's a unanimous approval by all senators to review the new guidelines for travel. Kasi napaka-prohibitive. Number one, napakaraming mga requirements na kailangan i-submit. For example, meron pang affidavit na manggagaling sa consular office or embassy na pupuntahan nyo, lalo na kung may sponsor po sa inyo doon. Para, let's say, lagyan natin, may kamag-anak po kayo sa Estados Unidos, gusto nyo bisitahin yung kamag-anak nyo. Kailangan pa po ng kamag-anak nyo kumuha ng isang affidavit sa consular office ng tinitirahan nila or sa embahada na kayo mismo ang magsusponsor, sila mismo magsusponsor sa inyo. That, I think, is a very prohibitive requirement, no? Aside from bringing your original birth certificate. And tanong ko nga sa inyo, nasa inyo pa ba yung original birth certificate nyo? Parang true copy na lang galing sa NSO. Yung aking birth certificate is 54 years old. Siguro hindi ko na mahanap yung original nun, no? So, napakahirap ng mga requirements nila. And again, sa tingin po namin, labag po ito sa konstitusyon. At sabi nga po ng ating mga kasamaan, kung hindi po isususpindi ang requirements for further discussion, there was also authority by the Senate to allow us to file through our Senate Legal Department a petition for temporary restraining order with the Supreme Court on the grounds that it is against the constitutional provision of Article 3, Section 6. So, itong initial victory is a product of the public's vigilance, no? Nakikinig po tayo sa publiko, sa pulso ng bayan, lalo na sa mga social media comments, social media posts, sa mga nangyayari sa ating mga kababayan, lalo na mga na-offload. We'd like to put on record, in 2022, 32,000 po ng ating mga kababayan, 32,000 passengers ay in-offload ng Bureau of Immigrations. Only 1.4% doon ay nahuling human trafficking. 1.4%. So, ibig po sabihin, yung 98.5% ay biktima. Hindi ng human trafficking, kundi sa pag-aabuso ng isang ahensya. Kasi sino magbabayad ng ticket? Yung ticket, pinakamababa ng presyo ng ticket, 19,000 pesos. Yung hotel, di ba, babayad po kayo ng hotel, prepaid yun. Kailangan bayaran mo muna bago magbiyahe. Dahil alam mo, na hihingi po yan ng Bureau of Immigration natin dito at posible pagdating mo sa bansang yun, hihingi din po yan ng immigration officials doon. So, pag in-offload po kayo, in this case, 32,000 of our kababayans in-offload po last year, ang laki po ng perwisyo sa kanila yun. in terms of their economic standing. Many of them, siguro first-time travelers, marami sa kanila gusto magbiyahe kasama ka ng kanilang pamilya. Ilang libong nawala sa kanila na piso, no? Ilang libong piso, syempre ilang araw din po ng perwisyo yan, pag-iiyak ng mga anak nila na gusto sana nila mag-Disneyland sa Hong Kong, pina-offload naman ng Bureau of Immigration. So, I'm thankful that the Senate rallied behind these resolutions yesterday. I'm thankful to the Secretary for heeding the suspension calls of the Senate, and maybe we can have a further discussion on this on the succeeding hearings to come, particularly on the issue on the travel guidelines. So thank you. First of all, we thank them for the suspension kasi September 3, Sunday na dapat ma-implement yan. So suspend muna nila. But at the same time, they have to explain to us how did they come up with these guidelines? Ano ba ang pagbabasihan nila dito sa mga guidelines na ito? Unang-una, wala namang batas na nagsasabi dapat mag-submit ka ng original birth certificate, na mag-submit ka ng affidavit from the consular office of your destination. Wala namang batas na nagsasabi nun. So, in the absence of law, we want to ask them their basis for these added requirements for Filipinos to travel abroad. Sabi ko nga darating na ng panahon, kasi yan ang gusto natin pamalaan. Sabi ng pamalaan, ang ilang plano is by 2028, maging middle income economy na po tayo. Ibig po sabihin, mas marami sa ating mga kababayan mag-graduate from poverty threshold to middle income economic what you call this middle income economic yung status. Yeah, so middle income economic status. With that being the case, they will have more spending power. Meron po silang mga tinatawag na savings, additional savings, at baka gusto po nilang bumiyahe for the first time kasama na kanilang mga pamilya. So it makes no sense na pipigilan mo itong mga first time travelers and yung mga gustong umikot sa ibang bansa kasama ng kanilang pamilya at ma-offload po sila. That's basically economic profiling. If there's racial profiling in some countries in the prohibition of travel, in our country it seems like economic profiling. Kung barok ang English mo, baluktot ang pagsalita mo, kagad-agad i-offload ka or you're up for secondary screening. Hindi maganda yun. And it is also a cause for concern, especially in corruption. It will be another layer of possible corruption. Kasi yung secondary screening will be in private rooms. Kung pag-usapan nila dun, kasunduan na lang, magkasunduan na lang sila. Kawawa naman natin mga kababayan. At kung hindi ka lalabas o hindi kayo sang-ayon sa kanilang kasunduan, baka ma-offload ka. At kawawa naman po ang ating mga pasero. And that's why, as Senator Escudero said yesterday, less discretion, less corruption. If there's more discretion on the part of the agency officials to do certain things that are not within the boundaries of the law, then that is open to more corruption.
Sir,
yes.
Sabi po ng iyan kasi na purpose ng revised travel guidelines ay para labanan ng human trafficking. So, anong dapat nilang gawin para ma-address naman po yung human trafficking?
Kasama na yun sa ating mga pag-usapan sa hearing na what are the reasons why these stricter guidelines? Alam po natin to combat human trafficking. But there are ways of doing it. Why don't we target the illegal recruiters? Why don't we target the human traffic syndicates? Yan ang kailangan gawin. Case in point, 32,000 Filipinos were offloaded last year. Only 1.4% were human traffickers. So, palpak ang kanilang selection ng ating mga kababayan pagdating dito sa human trafficking. They have to have a more concrete formula to be able to apprehend these violators of human trafficking. Secondly, maybe they can come up with a better system na computerized na lang lahat. Kung gusto mong biyahe, bago ka magbiyahe, gusto nila mag-upload ka ng birth certificate lahat, i-upload na lang natin sa isang server or isang website ng Bureau of Immigrations, which by the way can also cause privacy issues. Kasi may privacy issues din yan. For example, yung bank certificate mo, then you're opening yourself up to other issues, no, like kidnapping or kidnap for ransom or other personal security issues. So there is data privacy that is involved there. Kaya nga tumututol kami dahil yung mga requirements nila also will as we see violate data privacy laws. Kaya there are other ways of fighting human trafficking, di ba? Marami namang bansa na talagang adikain nila ay labanan ng human trafficking, but they don't prevent their countrymen from leaving their country, di ba? Call na kasi yun ng Bureau, call na kasi yun ng immigration ng bansa na pupuntahan mo. For example, pupunta ka ng Japan, dapat wala nang tanong-tanong yung ating Bureau of Immigration dito dahil kailangan mo ng visa eh. So kailangan mo ng visa, napakahigpit ng visa requirements ng katulad ng Japan, katulad ng EU, katulad ng Estados Unidos, napakahigpit nun. So kung lumusog ka na doon on the visa requirement issue alone, wag ka na dapat hinga ng documentation. Dahil dumaan na ng butas ng karayom yung mga kababayan natin. So these are things that we would like to discuss with them and how we can prevent human trafficking but on a more concrete manner. Because as I said, asking for these requirements was a failure in 2022. Asking for these requirements was a failure in 2022 dahil sa 32,000 pasahero na in-offload last year, 1.4% lamang ang may kasong human trafficking. The others were unfortunate passengers and victims, no, of this reprehensible system na talagang kawawang ating mga Filipino travelers.
Sir, feasible po ba yung suggestion ni Senator Escudero na i-reimburse?
Maganda yun.
Yung 32,000?
Yes, I support that. I support the position of Senator Chis Escudero where kung may i-offload man ang Bureau of Immigration, charge to their account. Meron kasi sila mga fees na kinokolekta at million yan. That's up to hundreds of millions in the Bureau of Immigration funding. So they'll be more careful, no, who to offload. Kasi syempre sila babayad nun pag nag-offload sila. Meron din silang kailangan ibigay na ayuda sa mga na-offload. Kasi isipin mo, pamilya kayo, 5 kayo, husband and wife, 3 anak, pupunta kayong Hong Kong, i-offload mo sila. Magkano ng ginastos ng pamilya doon? It's not fair. It is not fair. And ganun na lang, ipa-offload mo sila, natalo sila ng 100,000 pesos, sorry na lang, sasabihin mo sa kanila, sorry na lang. That doesn't cut it for us in the Senate. Hindi kami papayag nun. Hindi dapat pumayag ang gobyerno dyan. So, we need to still continue with the hearing to find out and discuss these issues. Kasi kung hindi natin pag-usapan to sa hearing, hindi natin mahalungkat, di po natin malalaman, no, kung ano talagang punong dulo nila, kung ano ba't nilang tinutulak ito. So, and of course, on our side, we will present to them why this should not be the guidelines to be placed, to be put in place, and other measures should be taken to combat human trafficking rather than harassing our kababayans na gusto lang makabiyahe sa ibang bansa for whatever purpose, for a good time, for vacation, for soul searching, for educational purposes. Call na ng kababayan natin yun eh. Wala na silang pakialam dun. Basta importante, umuwi lang sila after their designated visa dates.
Possible ba, sir, maging liable yung mga napapatunayan na intentionally immigration officers na parang intentionally ginigrill lang nila yung isang pasahero?
Well, may karapatan naman po yung immigration officers natin i-grill yung mga pasahero. Ang pakiusap lang namin sa kanila, katulad binanggit ni Senator pakiusap ni Senator Bato de la Rosa kahapon, na sana naman may puso ang mga immigration officers. They should always put themselves in the shoes of the passenger, di ba? Kasi siguro babiyahe din yan once upon a time or in the future, babiyahe din yung mga immigration officers. Lagay mong sarili mo sa kanilang kalagayan. And dapat may konting puso. Sabi nga may isang video nakita ko, umaapela talaga yung pasahero. boss, lilipad ng eroplano namin. Yung pamilya ko gusto lang makabakasyon. Hindi pa rin eh. Yung mga videos on YouTube, hindi rin sila pumapayag. Tapos pinapa-offload, umiiyak yung mga bata, umiiyak yung isa. Huwag tayong ganyan. Us in government, we in government, should show efficient service, but also show service with heart na may puso, na pagmamalasakit sa ating mga kababayan. That's our job, is to make the life of our people much easier, the lives of our people much easier. Hindi pa perwisyo lamang at power tripping. So, umaapila kami sa Bureau of Immigration, although nasuspend na itong IACAT guidelines, let's have a heart for our passengers. Kung wala naman pong red flag, kung walang kaso, walang hold departure order, walang record na nag-overstaying sa isang bansa, wala namang record na nag-TNT sa isang bansa at nagtrabaho sa isang bansa na meron talagang record na, di hayaan mo na makabiyahe ang ating mga kababayan. Lalo sa mga first-time travelers.
Sir, aside from
Please share, like, subscribe, and comment sa aking channel para updated ka lagi sa kaganapan sa loob at labas ng ating bansa. Hanggang sa muli, magandang araw Pilipinas!